Hello, I'm Robert Emmett Hernan. I'm the head of Bluestack Productions, Inc., the publisher of Irish Environment, an online resource for environmental matters on the island of Ireland. We're here today for another in our series of conversations on environmental matters. And I'm very pleased today to welcome Gerry Crilly from Dunleer in County Louth. Gerry, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
Gerry, I wonder if you could tell the audience, you've been involved in the planning issues for over a decade or decade and a half or so in Ireland. How did you first get involved with planning issues in Ireland?
Well, initially, way back, I suppose it's nearly 20 years ago now, we bought our first home in an very old market area of Drogheda, which really was not the done thing. I mean, we invested all we had into a very nice, unique in character, 2 up, 2 down in the market square in Drogheda. From there, shortly after purchasing and initiating the refurbishment, the county council, the county manager, the bureaucracy aspired to develop an office facility adjacent to where we lived, which happened to be on the corn market area of Drogheda. And the corn market area of Drogheda was adjacent to where we were, which was the potato market. Was an architecturally interesting place, to say the least, with the original architect on that location was a fellow called Francis Johnson. And the cut stone detail, the craftsmanship was exemplary. The local authority aspired to demolish basically what existed and build a modern day office facility, and I really couldn't get my head around what they wanted to do.
And what year was this, Gerry?
That was back in 92, 93.
92. And you had no training or experience with planning issues prior to this, right?
Absolutely none. No, very, very green in relation to planning. Had no idea how it worked.
Green in the good sense.
Green, absolutely, in the true sense of green.
Yeah. Yes. And so you got involved.
I was quite taken because, I mean, clearly we had moved into the area with a very, very clear vision of what we wanted, but primarily not what we wanted, what the area had to offer us, which, in other words, the structures, the facility, the layout, the community that existed. We had no intention of an imposition of our thinking on that area, and it was quite astounding to think that the authority who was responsible for the area had absolutely no recognition to the qualities that existed and wanted to impose a specific type of modern office block. So from there I got involved.
And did they demolish the building?
No, it took many years and a lot of campaigning and a lot of hard work, a lot of late nights, and no money, no return, nothing, just the satisfaction of being able to go in and see the structure still standing. That's not to say that it has attained anything of the potential that exists, but what we did manage to do was stop the demolition and have an appropriate form of development happen, insofar as that they incorporated their office facilities within the existing structures as opposed to the imposition of new.
And did you get involved with Taisce? That you're now on the board of Taisce, or are your
National Council?
National
Council, yes.
And did you get involved with Taisce during that campaign for the in Drogheda?
It would have been, yes. It would have been around that time that I was introduced, or I was asked to become involved in Taisce.
When did you move to Dunleer in County Louth?
We came out to Dunleer in around 1997, I think. We sold in Drogheda and moved out locally here. And
you didn't waste any time getting involved in planning issues here, did you?
No, not at all. I mean, I had some very real experience in how planning worked in Ireland, and as we all know now, not that we all know everything, but certainly there has been and is an existence of a malignancy within Irish planning, and that malignancy is not specific to planning. It is a societal problem, and I think that the various reports and tribunals of which we have spent untold millions on is beginning to sort of turn the sod on. It's quite sad, really, because if we do look directly at our communities and see how our communities really operate and who influences what in those communities, It doesn't cost us a fortune. I don't believe in witch hunts. I don't believe in hanging anybody from the local tree. But I do think we have to recognise the mentality and the workings of individuals within communities. And that has been my objective in Dunleer.
When you came here in '97, there was a fairly lengthy fight in terms of developing a local area plan in Dunleer. And as I understand it, in 1998 to 2000, you, on behalf of yourself and on Taisce, with the assistance of University College Dublin School of Architecture, and with the consulting group as well.
That's right. Basically, primarily on Taisce. I mean, I would have recognised many years ago it would be exceptionally difficult, if not impossible, for an individual to conduct any campaign as an individual. So it was important to become a member of an organisation, and Taisce stands out. It really, really stands out in terms of what it is about and why it was set up, and it certainly, I could fully see me as being a member of that organisation. So initially, yes, I worked. Okay, it was Gerry Crilly doing the work, but I was doing under the flag of Taisce. We put proposals to Louth County Council in so far as that we wanted to pull together an area plan, a framework for the development of Dunleer. We worked with a group called Talamh Nua, or New Ground.
New Ground, yes.
New Ground Consulting, under a lady called Catherine Larkin from Bennett's Bridge in County Kilkenny.
And this was before the 2000 Planning and Development Act had called for local area, or provided for local area plans, right?
Seriously cutting edge, yes.
When you were developing the plan with Taisce and Narrow Ground and UCD, you also had a think-in with the town, correct? That you submitted the proposal to the town to get their input to it and see what they felt about it.
Oh, we had initially everything was conducted as part it should have been. I mean, there was no point in compiling a plan unless people, as in the community, felt ownership for that plan. So part of that process was a village think-in. So basically it was Catherine Larkin and New Ground that came in. There was 3 consultants, landscape architect, and a community development officer came in and assisted in the compilation of what the community would have liked to have seen in their plan. So yeah, we were hitting all the nails on the head. We were making people feel inclusive. We were all part of the community. We were rocking. We were going to do something, like, you know, this is what was happening. Then it went sour. In the earlier days, the primary piece of concern to specifically interests, vested interests, as in landowners or people with interests in areas within the village, was the boundary situation. So initially, the Murray O'Leary boundary, which was very acceptable because it was an outside view, and it was a trained view in what would be the proposed boundary. That was compiled in a draft local area plan. Subsequent to that, then the councillors decided that they wanted more land included in the boundary. Now, the reason for the more land included was quite clear, because people that wanted more money and wanted zone land and wanted to build houses here, there and everywhere. So, I mean, the councillors did as their electorate dictated to a certain degree, and they expanded the boundaries of Dunleer hugely, I mean ridiculously, which has been proven and stated, part of fact at this stage. Then there was a local area plan adopted in 2003. Now, in short, that local area plan basically provided the vested interests of what they wanted. The problem then was, and is, consistently, that with that degree of influence on behalf of the self, the person, the individual, as opposed to the common good of community, plans can't work. They're just off on the wrong footing. So they just cannot work. And that's a large part of where we are now today.